So let me tell you a little bit about the Greeting Fluency and what we're trying to do. These are some new ideas we're experimenting with, but what we really believe is that Vancouver is such a diverse place, and diversity is our strength. And we need to encourage people to celebrate each other's cultures, but it takes work to ensure that everyone feels welcome. So the Greeting Fluency initiative starts with the idea that if everybody could greet each other in their own language, this would be a really powerful message of respect. And so that's what we're here to experiment with, and we welcome your participation and your feedback on these ideas. So I want to introduce our next speaker. His name is Joachim Waibel. I wanted to have someone from the German culture. Lynn and I talked about how we've had so many different cultures featured at these events, and we knew there was only one guy to turn to. His name is Math Abdi, and he's the guy holding the camera over there. He has a show called Ahorn TV. It is a TV about German culture in Vancouver. I said, who would be the best representative that would really be able to describe the German culture and the Canadian culture? And he said, there's only one guy. His name is Joachim Waibel, and I think you'll find out why he's here. Now, I myself am an accidental Canadian. There are people who actually chose to be Canadian, and I feel a little bit in awe of them because they made a choice. And they made the decision to leave another culture and come here. He loves the German culture, but he's very clear. He's a proud Canadian and a Canadian first. And one thing you'll notice is that he loves the English language too. He contributes so much to his community, and I'm not going to read out his resume. Sorry, Joachim. But I want everybody to welcome Joachim Waibel.
Good afternoon, everybody. Guten Tag, as I'm supposed to be saying here, to introduce the German language to you. First of all, I would like to thank Sam for this very kind introduction. Exaggerated naturally, but that goes with the territory while being a politician, I guess. First of all, I would like to touch on the idea of greeting and fluency, and I think they're a little bit interchangeable. Is there a fluency in greeting or in the greeting a fluency? When I prepared for this speech, I was thinking hard of how to sort of convey to you my feelings about the words, because we are going to be talking about, we could maybe just get into the hello. Hello. Next, please. Then we have the danke. I didn't ask you to repeat, but feel free, okay? And then we have bitte. Thank you very much. So, to get to the essence of it, these are three very, very powerful words in the German language. I would dare say, being an English-speaking person myself as well, that they convey more in their finer points, in their nuance, than actually the English language is able to do, and I will give some examples later on. First of all, though, in terms of the greeting, as Sam pointed out, wouldn't it be wonderful if, in this very diverse city, which I very much appreciate, my wife being Persian in the audience here, so I've had some exposure to other cultures as well. I speak French as well, as a good Canadian should. And I came up with the common denominator in my life. And that is that in order to have a fluency in greeting and dealing with other people, which is a communication skill towards your neighbor, one should, first of all, have patience in seeing them, in meeting them, to their ways and everything else. In other words, tolerance. Secondly, I believe it is not what you say in life, but it is how you say it that makes the difference. So therefore, I believe that some of these words here have something to say, and I would like it actually. I mean, when we had the discussion with Sam of, how to go about this, and it's my first time that I would speak on German language actually. I didn't want it to, I've tried to learn different languages, Chinese, the native languages, all of this, and sometimes it's always overkill of where you get a whole bunch of things thrown at you. They go in one ear, then the marbles turn around, and it goes out the other side, and by tomorrow morning you do not remember the words that you have learned. So I believe, and I was very pleased that when Sam said, well, we're going to focus on 3 words and 3 words only. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you all leave here, and if you remember by tomorrow morning, hallo, danke, and bitte, I'm very pleased. Okay? Because I think that's all it really takes. If you meet a German or get immersed into the German culture, that if you understand those 3 words, I think the door opens to you, and then they'll all start speaking English with you. But that's okay. But if you understand those, and if you say them in the way that I'm trying to tell you afterwards, I think that's the most important thing. Now, there's another thing that I'd like to touch on, and I don't know, I see a lot of young people here and a lot of cell phones and electronic gadgets. Believe me, I'm into them as well. I had a computer in '79, so I've seen it, done it. The only thing is I find that we seem to rely a lot on this new technology for us to communicate with others. Text, email, this, that. We hardly answer the phones. God forbid you have a landline. So what I'm trying to say is it's all very nice to have the translation ready, but I'd like to use that sort of maybe silly example that imagine there's an alien that comes from outer space and you meet and you want to meet and greet. Now, I could not see that somehow we would hold up this machine and put it in their face, and then we would sync the phone and send each other a text and would know what we would mean. I'd rather take the risk of having my own voice resonate, come out, put some feeling into it, and reflect, and have body language to go with it, and say, hello, welcome, hello, how are you? And I think that would go a lot further, also on Mother Earth here, if we would actually communicate more in spirit, in voice, and in body with each other. And I think it would be a better place. Anyhow, enough of this. Now to the German language. We have one thing in the German language that a lot of other languages do not have, and it's actually the difficult part about it, and it is we have this formal and casual business. So if you don't know anybody, you don't really say the word you, sort of like how are you and things like this. You say si, which is like the French vous, okay? And we have du, which is the casual, which is the tu, okay? Now in English we all say you. So there's a fine line, which when I first came over from Germany, I was 13 years old, I had difficulties distinguishing what people really meant. Were they trying to be formal? Did I have to be formal and all that? Anyhow, it worked itself out. I mean, it's a very interesting point about the English language, but we shouldn't go there. So, up and away. We first come with the first word danke, okay? Danke, the word thank sort of comes out and sort of it's a high German word for Middle Ages and all that. So, I mean, it goes back a long time. And sort of this Anglo-Saxon Germanic background. So, danke means thank you. Then we have vielen Dank. Okay? You hear how it went? Vielen Dank? That means many thanks. The intonation is very important in all of this to convey your feelings at that moment. And then you have the more formal way, which is danke vielmals, which means many thanks. And then if you want to go over the top, just like in the English language, you have tausend Dank. But listen to this, tausend Dank, tausend Dank, okay? Thanks a million. I mean, it's very statistics-oriented, numeric. So these are the 3 or 4 that come out. Then, the most common ones are Danke schön, Danke sehr. Then comes schönen Dank, many thanks. Besten Dank, best of thanks. Haben Sie vielen Dank, again, many thanks. Ich bin Ihnen sehr dankbar. I'm very grateful, thank you to you. Ich danke Ihnen, I thank you. Herzlichen Dank, heartfelt thanks. Ein herzliches Dankeschön, it goes on. My or our heartfelt thanks. Danke vielmals, many thanks. Vielen Dank, again, many thanks. Now, that's the Danke. Can you just say Danke, all of you? Danke. I think that's good enough, okay? So remember that you heard all of this once before. I don't think that you've got to learn this, okay? The only thing is I was trying to point out that there are many versions of it, and if you really are interested, you can get into them. But really, here's how I'd like to say to you, in response to me being here, to you as the audience, Danke. All right? Now, we then move on to a very, very difficult word, which is bitte. Okay? Now, you can say bitte. You can say bitte. Bitte. Now, you heard how I went up and down and sideways and all this. Well, I tell you, that's really what it boils down to in the end, okay? There's a short thing here that I gathered up, and forgive me, at the end it gets a little funny, but bear with me. In English, pardon, question mark, means bitte. Please means bitte. Go ahead means bitte. Here you go, bitte. You're welcome, bitte. Not at all, bitte. Now, I slept with your sister, I messed up, but I still love you. Can we move past this? Bitte? So basically, this is what it boils down to. We got a lot of bitte, a lot of danke, okay? But I would still say the nicest way to say it is bitte. Okay? Now, finally comes the famous hello. Okay? I don't know if you knew, and I didn't know this prior to coming here. This is an old Anglo-Saxon word from the Old High German, and it's the hello, hallo, allo, all of this. You name them, they all have it. And it actually is the old version to hail the ferryman. Interesting, I didn't know that either. Now, modern translations to this are the casual ways and then the more formal ways. Now, I personally, the area where I come from in Germany, from the southern part, we seem to be using the casual only. And we have this word grüß, greeting, grüß. And we say grüß dich, which means hello to you. But the old ways, how my great-grandmother used to be and how I always liked it, was called grüß Gott, which means greet God for me, or God is greeting this. It's done in the South. Then we have the official thing that you hear on in the movies and all of this, and it's called Guten Tag, hello, good day. Guten Morgen we have, which means good morning to you, which goes until about 11 o'clock. And then we have Guten Abend, which is good evening, which starts at about 6 p.m. Okay? Now, I, again, would like to tell you that it is not what you say, it is how you say it, okay? And I'd like to go through the exercise once more with the audience here. where we take these 3 words, and I'd like you to think about and try to feel at the same time how these words resonate inside of you when you say them, okay? So, if you could please try. The first word is the greeting, and we're trying to do really some fluency in greeting here now, or greeting in fluency. Can you please all say hello? Hello. Did it feel good? Good. I'm happy about this. Now, I would like you to use the word bitte, and I'm going to say it because I'm asking you to say it nicely. So, follow my lead here. I say bitte. Felt all right? Very good. Thank you. Now, thank you. Now comes the word danke. And I say dankeschön to all of you of having me up here. And I hope that you're going to take 3 words with you, and somehow they will stay with you, and I planted a seed in all of you, and I wish you luck in meeting some Germans. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Everybody says danke. Danke. Wonderful.